Welcome to Bad Videos, a series in which I make smaller, lower effort stuff about things that I might not have a whole lot to say about, but I still find interesting anyway. Today we're looking at Perfect Dark, and as you can see in this first level, I'm just going through it normally on Perfect Agent, and you have to work your way down the roof of this building and into the basement. But on the way, you want to stop at this office because there's an objective in here, and you knock this nice lady out and you take her necklace. This office is actually locked when you work your way back up the building on the third mission. So you actually can't get in here normally. But there is a way to, and it's kind of interesting because it's got a whole bunch of unintended side effects that I don't know if the developers knew about, and I don't know if anybody else knows about it either. So skipping ahead a bit to the third level, you're actually on the ground floor of this building, and you have to work your way back up to the roof in kind of a fun mirror of the first level. But they sound the alarm and they kick the lights off, and you can see there's a timer going at the bottom of the screen. And when that timer runs out, the lights will kick back on. And normally you just fight your way through here, and you shoot the guards, and it's pretty straightforward. But if you happen to be really good at the game like I am, as you can see, and you kill all of the guards and you make it to the elevator that takes you up to the top floors of the building before that timer runs out, you actually get a little interesting Easter egg that not many players have seen. Now, as you just heard over like the in-game comm systems, they've locked down the ground floor, so you need to get to the roof to get out because if you check the front door is locked. You can't get out of there, and the glass is bulletproof, so good luck, escaping the building that way. You gotta do like a cool Action Man escape with, the air extraction, and it's a cool little cutscene. So on this second attempt, I do actually manage to clear all the guards out in time and make it to the elevator button before the lights flip on. And if you do that, the game will actually spawn an extra guard on this floor, right here. And he drops Cassandra's office keycard. And so what this lets you do normally is you can get into Cassandra's office, and there's like a wall you can blow up for an early grab at like a late game assault, or I guess a mid game assault rifle. And that helps a lot for this mission. So it's cool to do that, but if you can clear that ground floor in a minute and get up here, you probably don't need that. What's really cool, actually, is what comes if you go back down to the ground floor. And I don't think I've ever seen anybody talk about this. In fact, looking it up, and it's not even on the wiki, only one person from a GameFAQs thread 14 years ago has ever brought this up. It's the only mention I can find of this on the entire internet. I found this on my first time trying to beat the level because I got so lost. I kept just like trying every door over and over again because I couldn't figure out where to go. But if you walk down here, you can open this like ornate door that is normally locked. So this keycard opens a lot more than just Cassandra's office. In here you can see what I think is like a storage room for the models used in the ending cutscene for this mission. And you can't like interact with them in any way. They're just static, invulnerable NPCs. Like you can see I'm shooting him here and it doesn't affect him at all. He can't die. There's also a rocket launcher and some ammunition for it. And that doesn't even that doesn't phase these guys. So that's a bit strange. I catch Dr. Carroll in the explosion here, and that doesn't go so well for him. But I try going up to Mr. Blonde here, and I try seeing what happens. I punch him, and he does recoil. He doesn't seem to care though. And then I was thinking, could I disarm the bodyguards? Because those are guns. Normally, if you hit somebody with a disarm, they drop their gun and you get to pick it up. But no, not even on these characters here. But the real interesting thing comes if you walk out this way and over to the front door. Because for some inexplicable reason, this keycard opens the front door to Datadyne, and you can just walk out. And as you can see, the night vision just doesn't work because the game doesn't really know what to do here. You know, you'd think this would just end the mission. You know, we escaped the building and there's nobody around us, so we could just leave. But if we try, you know, we can see if I pull out the rocket launcher and I shoot, the rocket doesn't like impact on the ground or anything. And if you walk too far, you just fall out of the map and die. So I spent a little bit of time, you know, exploring this area, and it's kind of annoying because since I'm playing on a real N64, I don't get to play with save states or anything, so I had to clear the lobby out every single time I wanted to test anything new. So, you know, you can like look up and see the outside of the building, and, you know, there isn't a whole lot to see because I don't think much of the outside is even rendered, but if you step too far in any direction, you just fall through the sidewalk and die. This area exists basically just to be, you know, convincing enough to a player on the inside of the building, but if you step out, then it's obviously just like a two-dimensional wall at the end of the street. But what's kind of interesting is that even though these walls don't have like player collision, if you shoot them, they still end up with like bullet holes to give you the impression that they're solid. I don't even know why they would do that. I assume that whatever makes something collide with the player and collide with bullets are two different functions. But it's interesting that the rockets don't seem to follow this philosophy. But anyway, that's just a weird thing I've noticed in Perfect Dark that I don't think I've seen anybody talk about, except for that one guy on GameFAQs over a decade ago. So, I don't know, try this for yourself. Just clear out the lobby on Mission 3 as fast as you can. And then, yeah, run back down to the lobby once you get the keycard. Maybe this keycard opens some more doors that I'm not familiar with, and maybe you can let me know what those are. All right? That's literally all I got. Goodbye.